Hi, I'm Judith Johnson, and my work is all about raising the level of consciousness from which we live our lives, and recognizing that this is not only an ability that we have, but a responsibility that we have to ourselves and to each other. Through mentoring, books, blogs, and workshops, I help others to develop a grounded sense of self-awareness from which they can navigate their lives. I call this work renovating the inner mental and emotional scaffolding upon which we live our lives. My own inner struggles are what drove me to become a voracious student of the dynamics of consciousness and the wisdom teachings from around the world. It became really clear to me that our lives are very much a fait accompli of our attitude. In other words, what are you thinking or feeling at the time? That's what your life becomes. And this awareness became the core of my own healing process and the work that I now do with others. For the first half of my life, I wore a nice smile on my face, but it was a mask. And inside, I was in tremendous turmoil. I had a lot of sadness, a lot of shame, and I felt truly disconnected from other people. I felt like a real outsider looking in. It seemed to me like everybody else was carefree and having a great time. But I didn't feel that freedom inside of me, and I never thought I would. I felt helpless and hopeless about it. Then I started to really pay attention to what was going on in the theater of my mind, and I realized that I was spending most of my energy and time focusing on what other people were doing and the events of my life outside, and never, ever really taking the time to get to know myself or thinking about building a life that was a safe place for me in this world. So I guess you could say that my healing process really was about turning myself inside out. Now I do that same kind of work with other people, and I mostly work with three kinds of clients. I work with individuals who wanted to do a deep dive renovation of their own mental and emotional territory. I work with couples who are looking to create a really firm foundation for their relationship so that they can both feel fulfilled and safe. I also specialize in helping people deal with end-of-life issues. Things like grief, becoming overwhelmed with caregiving responsibilities, being a patient dealing with excessive pain, family dynamics that are becoming troublesome, and also just the ignorance that many of us have about the importance of end-of-life documents and how to consciously and really thoughtfully prepare those documents in advance of need. As an author and workshop leader, I teach primarily about personal transformation, with learning that love is indeed our first and most sacred priority, and overcoming the fear of death and learning how to support one another through the hard times that sometimes come forward at the end of life. I was pretty clueless about the kinds of issues that people who are aging and dying face until I was thrown into the situation when I became primary caregiver to my mother for the last 9 years of her life. On her deathbed, my mother made me promise that I would do my best to help others by sharing what we had learned together about the dying and death process in a culture that is very ill at ease with these issues. And I'm happy to say that I did fulfill my promise by writing my book, Making Peace with Death and Dying. Finally, I'd like to say that my work centers around one key principle, that if we change our attitude, we change our experience. We are truly powerful creators of the lives we lead. So why not reach into the very best that is within us and find our way through this world from a place of truly loving and caring for ourselves and each other.